Hi everyone! We will create a cutout crop top with 2 O-rings. I have a reference picture. It doesn't look easy, but we'll figure it out. Are you ready? Let's go. We'll make the base top first. Click Polygon and click along the body of the avatar. Make half of the top pattern. Create a slight diagonal for the upper part, because I'm going to add a slight curve to this line. Go to Edit Pattern, click Edit Curvature, and drag it to make a curve. And then, I'm going to copy and paste this pattern for the back. And I'll make a slight change to the back pattern shape. And make these patterns unfold. Select the pattern and right-click. Click Unfold. Now we have front and back base patterns. There are points from unfoldings, so I'm going to remove these, select the point, and right-click, click Convert to Curve Point. Next, we are going to place on Avatar, go to 3D Window, click Show Arrangement Points, and place Well Patterns. And we are going to sew these, click Segment Sewing, and sew the side of the top by clicking. And simulate. Sometimes when you make a top with no strap for holding, the clothes are flowing down, so keep turning on the simulation, and you need to pull it up. It's similar to real clothes. Rotate the avatar and adjust the fit. We are going to freeze the front top pattern. Click the front pattern and right-click Freeze. And I want to cut out part of this position. When you click on the 3D pattern, you can check the blue point on the 2D pattern. So I'm going to make the point first here. Select the Edit Pattern and click Add Point Split Line. Click on the line. And go to the right side. When you put your mouse around near the left side point, the pink line pops up. It means this point is in the same position as the left side position, so you can just click. And we are going to connect these points. On the left side, there is the internal polygon line. Click and connect the points. And we are going to split into 2 pieces. Click the line and right-click. Click Uniform Split, make it 2. And make internal line the same. And then, we are going to divide this pattern half and half click, right-click, cut, and sew. And also the bottom cutout part. Make these cut and sew. And I'm going to copy only the half. And for making an overlayer cutout pattern, I want to make it 1.5 times longer. So, the base upper top length is 5.212 inches. Times 1.5 is 7.818 inches. So, select the bottom line and drag straight to down and make it longer around 7.8-inch length. And the bottom length is 2.433 inches. Times 1.5 is 3.64 inches. Drag it and make the length around 3.6 inches. Now, we are going to create internal line on the pattern. Click right-clicks offset as internal line. Make the distance 5 inches and keep extending, and press OK. Make the same internal line on the bottom pattern. And cut and sew. And we are going to make another half pattern. We could make mirrored pattern for the reverse, but to expedite the process, we'll copy it as a symmetrical pattern that can be modified all at once for quicker work. And we are going to release freeze these patterns. Select together, right-click, and unfreeze. And make sure to sew between two side patterns. And place it on the avatar before we simulate it. Place closer to the avatar. And sew the side of the tops. And simulate. Okay, pretty nice. I'm going to set few things for the fabric effect. Go to Property Editor. First, change particle distance to 10. And scroll down. Change addle thickness to 2. And go up, there is Elastic Effect. Click on, and More Winkle Effect, turn shearing on. and simulate again. For the cutout, I'm going to unsewing this part. Click on Segment Sewing and delete these sewing lines. Now it's separated into two parts. I'm going to make the top tighter. So drag the upper part together and adjust the ratio. You'll notice the top is shrinking. Repeat the same process for the lower part. Make sure your simulation is turned on. I just want it tighter in the middle, so I'll make a little more adjustment. Looks pretty good. We're going to create a custom O-ring. Instead of using an object, we'll make it using a pattern, which is faster. Click on Ellipse. Select 2D window. Set the O-ring size to 2 inches and press OK. To create the inner line, click on Internal Ellipse. Place it in the middle of the circle and set the inner line to 1.5 inches. Now, cut the internal line. Click Edit Pattern, hold Shift and click, then right-click and choose Cut. Just delete the inner circle. To smoothen the circle's shape, adjust the particle distance. Select the O-ring pattern. Scroll down and change it to 3. If a pop-up appears when setting particle distance below 5, just press OK. And add thickness by entering 2. Next, let's add metallic fabric to the O-ring. Click the plus button at the top to add a new fabric. Select Fabric 2. Scroll down and change the type to metal. And apply the metallic fabric to the O-ring. Now, let's place the O-ring on the avatar. Select the O-ring and position it on the avatar. If it's challenging due to the frozen base top, create another fabric. Go to Primary, add a new fabric, Fabric 3, and set the opacity to 0. Select both the front top and Fabric 3 with 0 opacity. Drag Fabric 3 onto the top to make it transparent. This will make it easier to work on. Hide the avatar and adjust the O-ring placement. Duplicate the O-ring by copying and pasting. Place the duplicated O-ring in the lower part. To make the middle pattern transparent, apply Fabric 3 to the middle pattern for transparency. Select both and drag Fabric 3 to make it transparent. Finally, let's create a cut and sew near the O-ring trim. Click on the edge of the top pattern near the ring, right-click, and choose Offset as internal line. I want to make distance 0.6 inch. Press OK. And select internal line both. Right-click, choose Cut and Sew, remember to freeze the O-rings to prevent changes during simulation. Click and right-click on the O-rings. Choose Freeze. And I'm going to copy and paste this pattern connected to the O-ring and position it closer inside. Click, Copy and Paste. Place it closer to the O-ring. Create a copy for the opposite side as well, and position it close to the O-ring. And click Segment Sewing. Sew these two patterns between the O-ring. Before we simulate, we need to fix this inner fabric to prevent it from moving. So, select these patterns, choose Pin Box, drag the entire inner pattern. And simulate. Do the same for the lower part. When simulating, if the fabric is not stable, you can adjust the position. Looks pretty good. And then, select all the patterns together and change the particle distance to 5. I'm going to arrange these patterns before we change the fabric. Gather patterns with the same fabric together. Go to Fabric and double-click. I'm going to choose Cotton 14. You can find it. It's one of the basic fabrics. Drag these patterns and drop the fabric that you choose. And you can change the color here. Apply the color that you want. But I don't want to see red pin box selected. So on 3D window, and turn off show pin. Finally, we've created a cutout crop top with O-rings. The rings will appear metallic when you render. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!